Malo le soifo manuia. I'm Nuali'i Eteroa Lafaele.
And I'm Julia Arnott-Neenee. And this is Tech Voyagers, a series that explores the technology and digital realm as Pasefika trailblazers.
Join us each week as we recap the latest tech news and look into the wins, challenges, and impact of technology in our Pasefika communities. Welcome back, listeners. It's so good to have you here. Sister, another episode.
I know. We're heading towards the end of the season.
Right. It goes so fast.
It does. I'm actually a bit sad about it too.
Because I feel like, when we first started it, I was so nervous at start. But now it's just like, it's become like real, like, second nature. Like,
second nature.
Ever talk, I'm like, I'm in the booth.
No, as soon as you put the headphones on, you're like, I'm locked. Let's go.
Oh, how has your week been so far, sister?
Oh, sis, it's been good. It's been good. I gotta say, I really want to share with our wide-ranging audience of lots of people what we talked about at our team meeting this week with our icebreakers.
Oh, that was a good icebreaker from my sister Rose.
Hey, Shot Rose.
So
this icebreaker, it runs a little bit like, so what is it? What is your guilty pleasure that you watch at nighttime that it gets to a point where you realize, you should be asleep now?
Yeah, I don't.
You've gone too far.
It's like the rabbit hole, eh?
The rabbit hole. What was yours, sis?
So in the meeting I said, because I always follow the pool guy. Hello, your boy for the pool work.
Oh.
That's his catchphrase.
Oh, yes.
But he always cleans pools. If it's not a pool, it's a spa pool. It's a jacuzzi. It's anything that has water in it, eh? But I like how he cleans it. I would not do the job. I would not do it myself.
So what is it about how he cleans it that you stay watching for hours?
I think it's what's that word? Ambiance.
Ambiance.
Because he doesn't add any backtracks or anything. It's just the sound of the cicadas and then his voice. Because it's not like an extra voice. It's just like a voice.
Can you give us an insight into the ambiance?
Here's another client here. You can see the water's a bit green. We're going to clean that up right now. Here's my power horse. Oh. Hose. And then he hoses all that stuff. So it's just stuff that I would never do myself, but it just looks really cool. I like the cleaning bit. It looks nice. Algae gone. Oh.
Algae gone. So your guilty pleasure is watching pools get cleaned?
Yes. Please don't touch me. One day I'll get a pool.
Yeah, of course you will.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, of course. 100%. Well, I mean, I don't know why I'm laughing because my answer was hooves. Hooves. And you did hear right. That is hoof as in like the shoe of an animal.
Yeah.
And there's a person called Hoof Doctor. And Hoof Doctor, he does or cows and sometimes there's like different types of hoof doctors from cow to horses, and it's when poor cows they've got some like hoof issues or they've got some stuff inside that's gone wrong or whatever, and they shave down the hoof, and then you're watching and he's talking about it and hoof stuff's coming off and he's like sanding it back, and then there's like pussy stuff and it's like and then he heals the cow. And
wow,
I know.
That's cool though. But do you think, because when I watch it too, it looks like the hoof is soft.
I know.
But actually he's just putting all that.
Yeah.
It's hard, eh?
I think it's like a lot of, he's putting his back into it for sure.
Yeah.
And it's sharp. And I also think, I suppose when we're just watching it visually, it's a very different experience from when you're like that. Yeah. Because stuff does splash up into his eyes in the camera. Oh. Also, so the thing I'm not sure of, where is the camera? Is the camera on his head?
Yeah, because it's right. It's like probably.
Or is it like on his nose? No, it can't be on his nose.
Hoof doctor.
But
imagine the smell. Because he's in the farms.
Yeah, that's true.
And like it's just cow by cow.
That's
Wait,
true.
but what does lame mean? What does so an animal that is lame is an animal that's
sore?
Sore, okay.
Sore, like limping?
Yep.
Yeah. So like when you sprain your ankle?
Been lame many times.
Oh man. And then I reckon the last one which we all kind of agreed to, and I'm keen for the audience who else wants to admit that they have this guilty pleasure. Popping pimples. Pop.
Do you know, I like it. It's like it's a weird thing, but I like it.
I reckon there must be like some psychologist or like forensic person would be like, people who watch people popping pimples mean that you are a
People popper. But I like the bit with the black
blackhead.
the blackheads or the thing that they put on their nose, and then they just like
Oh yeah.
But apparently you're not meant to take the whiteheads away.
Oh, is it good for you? Hey, if anyone wants to sponsor us to get some pimples popped, I'm happy for that to come through to our DMs. But the pimple popping seems to be a pretty universal guilty pleasure of, I don't know, the satisfaction of watching something get squeezed, eh?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just getting it out. Like it's
Getting
just
it,
goodbye.
Yeah. Release.
Yes.
The release. Oh, well, okay. Well, that's enough of our rabbit holes that we wanted to share with you. Keen to hear what everyone else's rabbit holes, if you recommend a rabbit hole that we should go down and some experiences we should gift ourselves late at night. But before we get into the rest of the show, we are going to get into Ete on the Beat. And today we are talking about retail and tech. That's part of our talanoa today. But over to you, sis. Over to the news.
Ete on the Beat. Ete on the Beat. Ete on the Beat. News item number 1, how AI is changing in-person checkout experience. Contactless checkpoint systems are increased rapidly because of computer vision and AI and new technologies. Cashless.
Tell me what that means, sis. Tell me.
So in this article, it talks about, so everyone knows about MasterCard, Visa, but this is mainly based on MasterCard. And they stated that 60% of all in-person transactions have all been on the card, cashless, and only 13% of shoppers still handle cash.
Yeah.
So that itself really shows that people don't hold coins. People don't hold actual cash, paper cash.
Yeah.
And if I think about myself too, this is all I have.
So do you use Apple Pay? Is it Apple Pay?
I use Apple Pay, but then I have my card.
Oh.
But it's just I'm on the go, so I have to run around. But really, why are people going cashless is, one, it's really easy for customers to use. 2, it's got a real good way of tracking your history.
Yeah.
So one, it's good for the individual, but 2, let's say you lose your card, you need to figure out where it was, all that stuff. So all those cool things in it as well. And then 2 is it's just to track more. Well, other businesses or banks actually benefit with cashless, because if you use a card, not only are you using their card, but you get to charge their own fees and stuff. But while we're speaking about cashless, the reason why it's in such big demand at the moment is, one, it's not new, but there's new technologies that are coming in.
Tell me more.
So one of it is called Vision AI technology. So that's where, let's say we've gone to Pack and Save, and instead of having the barcode of, let's say, chicken nuggets, instead of scanning the barcode, you actually just scan the object.
Oh, that's cool.
Instead of actually scanning and finding the barcode and that stuff, because that Vision AI is able to, one, look at the object and actually trace that back to the data that's already been stored.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of, but when I say this stuff, a lot of people, I think overseas, I remember we had a discussion about it. This is not new.
It's not new.
But it's quite new here in New Zealand. Yeah.
Totally. Because when I was living overseas, a lot of these conversations around for example, Amazon or Waitrose or supermarket chains where there wasn't going to be any people in the store.
Yeah.
And you could go in, you could grab what you needed and you would leave. And people were like, what? That's crazy. Everyone's going to steal stuff. And it's like, well, no.
Yeah.
Because, if they wanted to, sure, but the camera, the amount of technology that is being put and surveillance that's being put into these stores that are tracking who you are, picking up on all your biometric data, picking up your fingerprints, all that sort of stuff. And every item you put in your car is being accounted for and is being added to your account. And it's crazy. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the future. And it's something that I think about a lot when it comes to our Pacific stores and our Pacific marketplaces, Mangere markets, Avondale markets, a lot of those stores base, they're having that. A lot of them are cash first, but are now just starting to move towards you needing to have the point of sale on a phone or on what are those small devices? Yeah,
also they have it connected to the phone, but that itself is like a portable POS. Yeah.
Ooh.
Portable POS. There's your transaction. Eh?
There's your transaction. But even that is like quite a big change. Like, yes, there's the big global changes.
Yep.
But even in terms of markets in the weekend, even that is having to evolve, right?
Yeah, I doubt. And you do notice it, like, because when you're at the markets, you can see what cashless looks like and what those that actually have, like, that need to still use cash. It's real evident, and it's a big thing that's coming in, and we actually do hope that a lot of our, these small businesses do get into that too.
Definitely.
But adding on it, because you mentioned biometrics, there's another one where you scan your finger or a body part where you're able to pay for the food that or any of the goods or services that you've actually purchased. So, and in Mastercard, they're saying, because they had the scientists that spoke about it, it's causing a lot of fear, but a lot of people forget that they're already going through biometrics already. So an example is for those that use Apple Pay, like you said, in order for the transaction to happen, you need to scan your face.
Yeah.
And scanning your face is literally kind of the same thing as scanning your finger to release that information or data to purchase the goods and service. So it's, that biometric space is, it's starting to grow bigger.
As soon as we talk about this, all I think about is like grabbing someone else's hand and just being like, oh, can I borrow your hand for a second? Boop.
Yeah.
Or like,
thanks
hey,
for the shout.
Yeah, like, hey, Dylan, can you just look at me for a second?
Yeah.
Thanks, babe. Thanks for the new shoes. Like, thank you. Oh, it is. But that's, man, it's funny because it feels far away, but it's not. We're already participating, or it's already being around us. It's just that it's going to become more prevalent, and probably more accessible. Or like it might even just become the norm without us even realizing.
Yeah, because that usually is how things happen. Like that was the change from tapes to cassettes, to cassettes to CDs to now iPod. That changes. It'll grow onto us.
Or even Amazon.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have Amazon. No. We didn't have Trade Me. We didn't have eBay, Alibaba. Like then they were here and now we just use them.
Yeah. Well, exciting times ahead.
Yeah.
But the second news item for today is how Ralph Lauren's physical and digital boot sale on Fortnite shows benefits and limits of virtual commerce. So, Ralph Lauren, they had this cool as boot that they were using as like a avatar outfit.
Yeah.
So the avatar in Fortnite used it, and it caused everyone liking the boot. They're like, "Oh, that boot looks nice. Oh, you look snatched in that boot." So then, what Ralph Lauren did was they actually ended up making a physical version of the boot. Oh, cool. So then they're so strategic.
Oh, tell me more.
Strategic. So then once they make this amazing boot that they did in Fortnite, they only made 200 globally.
Oh. Scarcity.
VIP. I know, right? Yep. And then they sold that 200 boots for $250. And then, so that was like, everyone's like, oh, cool. Like, you would think they'd make more. But looking into it more, and I was speaking, we were discussing it earlier, it was pretty interesting how they were able to make produce smaller items and then sell it at $250. But then that means the reseller price will go up and up and up, meaning that it would be kind of like a Air Jordan or like a, what would you call it? Yeah, would it be a luxury item or like a item that's one of a kind?
Totally. It's something that is very rare. Yeah. So as soon as it's something is rare or scarcity or one of one, as human beings, we want to be that one of one. We want to have access to that, and the prestige that comes with having something that is limited edition just goes through the roof.
Yeah, and it's just, so they did that by starting off in Fortnite. There's Forever 21, yes. They used, they actually started putting their physical items into Roblox. Oh! So that the avatars can wear the Forever 21s, but also it can actually give them a look of, oh, does this look good on me?
Yeah.
Like, should I buy this?
It's so interesting to hear how the digital was influencing the physical. I know. And how something that was potentially like a dream up that would happen in some of these virtual worlds are then sought after. And I guess it's a way cheaper user testing, if you think about it, than having to do necessarily all of these in-person focus groups or whatever. But finding the validation, like the product validation through the metaverse or through virtual worlds, and then having that be influencing out into the physical world, like that is just, it's amazing.
It's hand in hand, like
it's totally hand in hand.
But it cuts down time. It cuts down everything. But then it's just like, oh wait, does that mean we won't have actual retailers? That's the thing.
I mean, I personally feel like a lot of my shopping, I don't know about you, sis, like there's some things I'm really happy to buy online.
Yeah.
Or there's some things I'm happy to purchase without seeing it, feeling it, touching it. But then there's other things that I still love the joy of, you know, like love the joy of going to try something on in person, going with a friend, having, like when we went shopping together.
Oh gosh, that was fun.
Yeah. And like those are memories built into that purchasing experience that I still really, really cherish. And I'm quite sentimental in that sense. So I don't know if for me anyway, I'll lose, I don't know, I guess it's all about convenience too and ease. What about you, sis? What do you think your preference would be?
Yeah, like I like the whole journey of getting to the store. Like I'm not just there to get to the store, I'm there to get me a frozen yogurt. I'm there to get me some food, you know. I'm there to find a car park.
Not get my car stolen?
Oh man,
sorry,
get an alarm. Get an alarm. Yeah, but like that whole journey. Yeah. But you're right though, because I like I'm quite sentimental too, because, you know, when we went shopping, that clothes, like, every time I wear, I'm like, oh, that's when I went with Sister Julia. Yes. So it has memories, but when I go in the shopping online, it's just like, oh, all I can think of is the shipping cost.
Yeah. Yes, okay, well, this is true. What I do think is going to be really interesting, though, is now that you go into a store, you can stand in front of a mirror and just swipe on outfits on yourself and just be able to try things on without trying things on, have things, like have a look be put together that is potentially like way outside of what you would have chosen yourself, but using AI or using other aspects of technology to actually enhance how you view yourself, clothes, your image, your look in a way that, I don't think it replaces your own decision making, but it can definitely broaden the scope of what you might have had biases towards by accessing other sources, really.
Yeah. And I feel like even other stores in the future will implement the same things as our brothers and sisters here at Forever 21 and Ralph Lauren. Yeah, but that is the news from Eti on the Beat. Eti on the Beat. Eti on the Beat.
Well, today we're going to be talking all about retail and technology. We've already heard some amazing global examples through Eti on the Beat. And just I guess, let's just clarify, retail tech, what does that even mean? So a definition of it is basically retail tech includes a suite of innovative digital technologies that brick and mortar. So brick and mortar means your store, your physical store. Oh. Yeah.
Oh,
so it's like, you know,
your brick. Oh,
yeah, like the brick.
I was like, okay, that makes sense.
I mean, that's not brick, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Brick and mortar and online retailers to enhance and streamline various aspects of the shopping experience.
Cool.
So retail tech just really thinks about how is technology used to elevate, improve, or change your shopping experience. And you know, just as we kind of talked about, thinking about how retail and technology has shifted and changed from cash to then FPOS to then, you know, all these different point of sale systems to then into thinking about how e-commerce is built, Amazon, Alibaba, into robots, into the example that we just recently saw where Kmart is now changing some of their factories to actually be using robots here in New Zealand.
Crazy,
you know, like, and that's just like we're only giving like a high level example of how retail tech is really shifting over time. And one of the big things about you know, what has been driving this acceleration was obviously COVID-19, because for a lot of stores that they weren't necessarily prepared to switch on to an online first environment, and really had to pivot and adapt their business models around, if I'm not able to sell from brick and mortar stores, or if I'm not able to access foot traffic, then how do I sell my goods and services? How do I sell these products? So it's been a really fascinating time to think about, you know, what is the future of retail tech, and what we might have already become used to and never have perceived it as the change and big innovation. And, you know, when I think about it, one of the examples, we went to that Spark conference earlier on this year, and Adidas did a presentation. And I don't know if you remember it, sis, but they walked us through this future reality where we would have VR headsets on and we would be watching a marathon.
Yep.
I'm not laughing. We'd be watching a marathon and we'd be watching a runner run in their Adidas shoes.
Yep.
And we would be like, oh, what are those Adidas shoes? And then we were able to go and find out more about the Adidas shoes, and we were able to think about purchasing it. We were able to bring our foot size up, test it on our foot or through our headset, able to personalize it, all while still watching this marathon take place. And then by the time the marathon finished, the shoes would be at our door. Do you remember that?
I remember. I think I laughed the most because I was like, I don't never see myself in the marathon. But anyways, but yeah, like how weird that, like that's freaky.
Yeah, and like they were pitching it to us in 2023 as like this is what the future looks like in the extended reality and the immersive and all these realities, or how the shopping experience essentially is going to adapt, and how Adidas is preparing to cater to user needs.
Yeah.
So being able to obviously show up in major events or in major places where consumers are watching, being able to give the opportunity for the consumer to put themselves in those moments, in those shoes, to personalize, to have their foot already be able to be scanned and uploaded to be able to test. And then by the time it's finished, that then they're physically at my door. So in my physical world, I can automatically go and start trying them on. What the heck? I know. And that's that real like omni-channel, so the mixture of digital and physical and kind of like all-in-one experience from start to finish. And it's, if you think about the shopper journey, that potentially would have been like, I saw an ad over here and then I waited a bit, maybe not me because I'm very impulsive, but I waited a bit to think about it. And then I saw an influencer or someone I really liked wear it. So I was like, oh, maybe I like it a bit more. And then maybe I had to go take myself to the store, try it on. Do I have enough money or not? I need to work some more. I'll wait. Like that is just gone. And it's just like from start to finish, how do I drive a consumer to be inspired and then to purchase and then to be now a customer? I know, it's crazy. So today we're going to be sharing a couple of examples. And again, we're not experts in these companies. We don't have sponsored relationships with them. Yeah. But we do, we have done some research around what are the types of startups that are in Aotearoa that are in the retail tech space. So we're going to share a couple of them with you today. And the first one is Aura. So Aura looks at retail crime intelligence. And what that kind of means is, well, okay, let me break it down. Yep. So as you know, in stores, there's quite a bit of theft that can tend to happen. Yep. People might grab stuff off the shelves or not pay for things, or I mean, a raft of different scenarios. And so Aura really looks at, well, how can we actually change that reality and evolve that so that there is a decrease in the amount of thefts that occur, cases are solved more quickly, there's more intelligence that's applied in terms of, okay, well, we know that this person or this group operates out of this hotspot of an area. How do we watch out for these warning signs? How do we see a repeat offender and actually be able to stop a theft before it occurs? And this is me giving quite high-level information, by the way. Yeah. But really, it's a software platform that connects people and organizations with intel so that they can proactively reduce the impact of crime in retail stores. And it does a bunch of different things. It has reports and dashboards. It's got alerts and notifications. And the example that I watched on their website was that if they've already caught somebody who's stolen something, they will then code that incident into their platform. So they'll be like, female, male, or other, and we'll say this, it was a female. What were they wearing? They'll try and pick up the identification. What did they look like? And kind of like some little cues around data points around this person. And that is stored, that is stored within their platform so that if someone was looking, for example, for people that steal baby milk was the example given, it will give this person up as an example. I know, it's... I don't know. It's even as I say it out loud, I'm like, oh, why do I feel icky? I don't know why. I automatically feel quite icky because it identifies the people that are offending. Yep. It logs them into their system. It connects people that, what if they had a car, it registers what car they had. So it keeps it within this platform so that they can look out for the same things again, right? Yep. And then you're able to sort of notify within the system if the police has been informed or not, what process they're at with the case, and kind of keep all of this up to date. And that's why it's framed under this intelligence sort of umbrella. And it's all about trying to resolve the cases faster, proactive versus reactive. And it's quite interesting, sis. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Well, because you remember when we spoke about AI always looking backwards, not forwards? It's looking way back, like, and it's just like, what if someone that wasn't Steely was wearing pink, had the same car, and just wanted to get milk for the baby?
I mean, I'm gonna say I'm sure it's not as simple, but I'm sure that there must be some level of how do you ensure that biases, that human biases, aren't put into the software. Yeah. So if I sort of maybe misgender someone, or if I don't get their age properly, or if I don't know what their skin color is correctly, and I write something like, how do you look out for those human errors that will then create data that drives this platform and this, I don't know. It's they're doing some massive stuff. Yeah. They are definitely a trailblazer in this area, and they're in New Zealand, Australia, and the US. And so I'm really curious to kind of have more knowledge around how you take those implications into consideration. Because it kind of goes into this whole like surveillance piece. Yeah, Big Brother. And there's already been a lot of contention around the use of AI by the police, right? Yeah. Who may take the data of who's been seen as offenders before and identify people because of the biases that are in AI.
That's interesting, eh?
Yeah.
Something to keep a good eye on, eh?
Yeah, totally. Number 2. So I've got another one. Another example is called Imager. So Imager is all about changing the way the world shops. No queues, no scanning. It's AI-powered smart carts built for retailers, demanded by shoppers. I love that. I love also all of these companies that have the videos that kind of step you through all the things that are happening. I'm like, awesome. Thank you. So basically, Imager is also obviously based here. Yeah. And Aotearoa was founded in 2015. And what it essentially does is it has a imaging station that is able to use machine learning and a whole bunch of incredible kind of high-tech cameras to capture the products that are then put on the shelves. So it's in the store database. So it's an imaging station. You might put my chapstick here into the station, and then it will pick up the product. It will look at, what are the specs, what are the size, what is, the item. Yeah. And then when this is on a store shelf, I come in and I'm going to be using their fancy dancy, the Halo smart cart. That again has technology embedded into the cart, and it will pair with my phone or an iPad. And essentially when I pick up items from the shelf, so here, and I put it into my cart, the system within the cart will register what item has been placed inside of it, and will log that onto my phone or onto my app that I'm using. And so essentially what means is I can just grab stuff and go and have it in my cart and go straight out the door and take my bags and be on my way, and I would have already paid for it on my phone.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's technology coming out of Aotearoa. So it's I think that's really it's quite cool to hear of global examples and global change. But know that it's shifting and evolving here, and that like innovation is happening here. We just might not see it everywhere yet.
So you're telling me I can sneak more snacks in my mum's trolley in the future?
But she will still register it on her phone, sis.
Well, she's just walking out the door anyway.
Yes, you will get it outside of the store and in the car, and then I don't know what happens when you get home.
Yes, better living, New Zealand. Better living. Yes. Oh man, we should do Tupperware stuff, eh? I'm almost done for that. Oh, let's crack up. That's cool. Oh, bless. Oh, well, the third one for today is Sin 7. So Sin 7 is an inventory and order management software, and it also offers the cloud-based solution. So what that means is you can go anywhere and look at your inventory. So what Sin 7 does is, let's say I have a bangeke shop and I make bangekes, and I use Sin 7 to keep tracks of the bananas at the back. the flour,
Yeah.
what's it called? All the other things that help me make the pankekes. And then also it has like a point of sale system. So while I'm selling my pankekes, I'm able to see how many pankekes I made a day, how many pankekes were also sold in that day as well. So the cool thing about Sin7 is usually when you have software for businesses, poor small businesses or small to medium businesses have to buy different types of softwares to support them. So usually an inventory software is separate to the point of sale software. So so they never really do come and connect,
Right.
because it's actually important if you have the two together so that you can, integrate things. So Sin7 actually does that whole small medium business ensuite package,
Love that.
So that's why a lot of people use it. But another big thing too is, yes, there are other competitors, but that's a real cool thing about them is the reason why is because they have they have the POS and the inventory system to integrate stuff. Because, man, when I used to work at places that did integrations, it's a hard work for small businesses, eh? Because it's a technical thing to try and bring the two together.
Because this is where, I had no idea that are they APIs?
Yeah.
I had no idea that APIs were such a big deal.
Yeah, it's massive, eh? It's just a lot of tech companies rely on it too. It creates more revenue, but it's just creates faster solutions too.
Wow.
So Sin7, they've got a headquarters here, but they're global as well. But it's just a common what do you call it? Retail tech here in New Zealand too. So
awesome.
I doubt.
We love it. We love it.
So exciting. I want to make a pankeke store now.
I know all this talk of stores. I'm like, oh, this sounds fun.
I know, right?
Well, takeaways for today.
Yes.
Takeaway number one. Order number one. Ding, 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 ding.
Order number one. Yes. One is that we are most likely moving to a cashless society with AI tech and aiming to make it easier. But I think it's important that when we move into this new wave, we do think about what this technology is replacing. And I think the part where we spoke about the Kmart and how the robots are now working in the factories.
Yeah.
We already knew about how automation was going to change.
Yes.
And it's already started.
Yeah.
So people were thinking, we talk about it now, but it's actually on our doorsteps.
Oh, totally.
Serving the place that we all like to shop, Kmart.
I tried to go there last night, actually.
My gosh. Imagine that. I'm putting my clothes on. I was like, oh my God, a robot packaged this. I need if it rips, who am I meant to complain to? I can't tell the robot you did this wrong, No, it
was programmed by the human.
Yeah, true. That is true.
True.
So I think that's just a good takeaway to think of is this is exciting, but what is the cost?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, order number two with takeaways is basically that even though we might not see the big changes that are happening in retail technology, doesn't mean that we're not building some of the solutions here. Because I even think with Imager and Aura, the fact that those solutions are coming out from Aotearoa New Zealand and are going global is really epic. That's pretty darn cool. That's us. We're a tiny country that does, we aim pretty high and we punch above our weight. And it's just something to consider that even though you might not see it around you, doesn't mean you couldn't dream it up. And doesn't mean you can't build it.
Yep. That's great takeaways. Just, put that in your Ziploc bag and take that home with you, fams, because that was our takeaways here at Five Friday. Yes.
Well, thanks so much for listening, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed our episode all about retail tech. Hope you don't go and spend too much. We are trying to take a degrowth approach to society right now, looking after the planet, please. But next week, we're going to be talking all about EdTech, education and technology.
Ooh, exciting. You can follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn and let us know what you want to hear in our actual last few episodes.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Well, we look forward to hearing from you soon. Till 5/4, and we'll see you then. You have been listening to Tech Voyagers, brought to you by Fiberfale.
It was hosted by me, Julia Arnott-Neenee.
And me, Nuali'i Eteroa Lafaele.
If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you're following Tech Voyagers on your favorite podcast player so you get new episodes as soon as they land.
Join the talanoa and let us know your thoughts using hashtag TechVoyagers on all socials.
And if you want to know more about pathways for Pasefika people in tech, visit fiberfale.com.